So when we're dealing with two things that have some overlap, you do have two choices. A table is one, but that's usually better when it's things like smoking, non-smoking is one thing, male, female is another, two different characteristics. Venn diagram is always best when you've got one cause that has two effects, right? The drug is the thing happening, and then you've got the two things that, one or the other or both or none of them. So that's the cue to draw a Venn diagram. I always recommend starting with, always remind yourself that you're in a 100% situation, right? There's a 100% chance of something happening. So you've got leftovers. And then, of course, you've got the two, right? The two things, the nausea and the decreased sexual drive, the D. You've got the N and the D. Doesn't matter what they are or what the letters are. Every Venn diagram looks like this. You don't have to draw them to scale. So it says 20% chance of N. I'm going to do something maybe a little bit peculiar. I always like putting the 20 for the N right here. And similarly, the 50 for the D, I put here. Then I can make sense of what to do with the 15, right? The 15% is a both thing, both, right? 15% for both, but it's right there in front of us, right? 15% for both. Well, that's important because now, right? See, I wrote the 20 for the N on the border to indicate the whole round set is 20. If I know the center is 15, of course, the outside here is 5, and similarly, the 50 for D, 15 is in the intersection, leaving, do a little subtraction, pull out your calculator if you don't trust if you tend to mess up arithmetic in test circumstances, 35. Then it's very simple to just go, oh, I have 100% total. 5 and 15 is 20, and 35 more is 55. So of course that leaves 45 outside. I always try to figure everything out in the diagram, label all of the regions. Region is a name for a portion of the Venn diagram that I don't know fits inside one continuous border. I'm not really sure if that's a good explanation. Now I can answer any question. Doesn't matter really, only nausea, fine. Nausea is 20%. The 15 is nausea and, right? And D is 15, so 5 is one thing only, right? You could almost think of this as like if this is the red set and this is the blue set, then the intersection is the purple set, right? That's just a visual way to remind yourself that the middle is the overlap. So of course, if your total blue is 50 and you've got 15 purple, that leaves 35 blue only. Oh, that's side effect D only. 5 is side effect and only. They might ask how many people, what's the chance of experiencing only one side effect? Oh, that's the 35 plus the 5. What's the chance of experiencing no side effects? That's the 45, right? Any question that they ask can now be answered by referring to the Venn diagram and translating that question into which of these 4 regions am I going to add up to answer the question. And remember, you've got the both, the only the one, only the other, and none of them. I hope that was helpful.